Och då är det dags då att plocka upp en talare som kommer ifrån en bit därifrån. Welcome General Manager of Vistorka, Akureyri, Iceland, Guðmundur Sigurðarson. A big applause.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Have you understand anything of these hours?
A little bit. We have to learn Danish in school in Iceland, so...
You have to learn Danish?
Yes, we have.
Why not Swedish?
Good question.
And I have one question before we start. Do you like football?
Oh, yeah, very much.
Okay, because Iceland was doing great in the European Championship with Lars Lagerbäck, and we are very proud of him.
Yeah, and we are too. It's amazing how the team has been doing in, the last few years. Of course, we've been building up facilities in Iceland. We have now football halls all over the country, and it was amazing a job that Lars did with the team.
Okay.
But I have to say that I would like if you have a politician that is like Lars, we would like to have that now.
Okay, we will send that out. You need it.
Oh yeah, we have an election in 1 month. We have a new government. Every year now.
But exactly. Maybe Lars can do it. He is very multi.
Yeah.
Okay, a small country can do greatness as Iceland. And now we want to hear about your interesting work.
Thank you very much. This is... Yes, hello, and thank you for inviting me here. I know there is one person in the room that has been to Akureyri. Are there more? Oh, many. I was born there, and I've been living there most of my life. Akureyri is in the north of Iceland, so very similar to the situation here in Östersund. As you can see here, we're a small nation, as you know. Akureyri, 18,300 inhabitants. 80% of the population is living in the capital area near Reykjavik. And Akureyri is far the biggest city outside Reykjavik. And we call it city, not a town. Why? Because we have everything that a city has. We have, so to speak, all the problems that all the bigger cities have. We have a large university, we have an international airport, we have 100 cruise ships coming every year with a lot of tourists. We have a big fishing industry, we have great skiing facilities, and as you do here as well. And just to make a connection here, the biggest fishing company in Iceland, you can see one of their boats there, just a month ago gave a new lift to the skiing facility. So next year we will have a bigger, you can see it on the first slide here. This is our skiing area here. So we will. This is the mountain here is 1,000 meters, and so we will have a new lift there in next year. But there is a connection here between this and this. If this one keeps burning oil, we won't be able to go to skiing. So the fishing fleet has to change the energy they're using. And we have started that. These are some of the projects that we've been running in Akureyri. One of them is we're collecting used cooking oil. And just to tell you a little bit why Vistorka is doing what it's doing. We are not experimenting anything. We're not doing any research. We're just implementing already ready solutions. A lot of them, already here in Sweden. A lot of them are coming from Sweden. So we are using, for example, the biomethane from the landfill. The technique is Swedish. So the same with the biodiesel. But we are collecting used cooking oil in Akureyri, and we are using some of it for the fishing fleet on these boats. But we're also using on the buses. Here you can see all the cars here in this photo. They're less than a year old. They're all running on methane. And this is the tank station. This is actually quite, you can see a lot of green energy in this photo. More or less all the trees here have been growing after 1990. That means they can go into the calculation according to the Paris Agreement. So the carbon they are capturing, it can be calculated. There's a river running through the town, and we are putting in a new hydro power plant there that will be producing 3.3 megawatts. That is, we could use that for 7,000 vehicles. So you can see today, you can buy more or less all types of cars running on methane. Electric cars, we have a lot of them here today. There are 4 charging stations in Akureyri now. And we will have charging stations all around the country within a year. The government is putting some grants into that, putting around 200 million Icelandic kronas into that. And so these are just a number of the projects that we've been doing in Akureyri. Of course, the most famous one is the geothermal hot water we have. Akureyri was not as lucky as Reykjavik. The hot water in Reykjavik is almost pouring from the ground, so you can almost see it. In Akureyri, we had been looking for many, many years for hot water in the area. And it almost left the city bankrupt. But 40 years ago, in '77, we found a good borehole just south of the town, and 10 years ago, we found another one north of the town. So we will have enough hot water for heating our houses for the next 100 years to come. And of course, when you find hot water, finally, then you find a lot of it. Because now we are digging a tunnel through one of the mountains, and it's pouring out hot water. And we were not looking for hot water then. So the goal of Vistorka is because it's owned by the municipality. So I'm a kind of a lobbyist for the within the system of Akureyri. So the goal is that the people living in Akureyri, they don't have any excuses for not living as environmental friendly lifestyle as possible. So we have introduced all these solutions. So as we see it today, there is nothing that the common people in Akureyri can say, oh, it's too difficult to recycle. No, you have a lot of recycling stations. And, oh, it's too difficult to charge the car. No, you have 4. So there are no excuses left. So it's just up to each person to do what is necessary. The utility company, of course, is our green company, producing or delivering the hot water and the electricity and the cold water, and also managing the sewer system. And they installed the biomethane plant from the landfill. So they are a very, very green company. Actually, we did the carbon footprint for the utility company this year, and it's carbon negative because of they're capturing the methane from the landfill. The same goes with the municipality, the university. We are looking at the calculations there at the moment, and we hope to have the results later this year or early next year. This is a recent photo. We just bought 20 electric bikes at the utility company. So if I tell a story about myself, for the last 4 years, I have owned a half car, if that's possible. But we are sharing a car with another family in Akureyri. So we've been doing that for 4 years. So I'm trying to put my money where my mouth is. And now I'm riding all over town on an electric bike. It's fantastic because there are a lot of hills in Akureyri. And from sea level and to the office where I work, it's 90 meters in height difference. So just give you an example of the greenhouse in Akureyri. This is the cost. This is not my house though. This is the cost for people living in Akureyri. Heating and electricity. This is in Swedish kronas. So heating and electricity 1,300. Recycling 0. You can just take all your recycling to the collecting stations. They are all around the city. I pay, because I'm lazy, I pay 95 for having a special bin at my house. So they come and pick it up every month. And recycling used cooking oil. We have this green funnel from a company called EcoFunnel. So we've handed that out to all the homes in Akureyri, and we've now put up these collecting stations. So you just put the funnel on like a bottle, and if you oil from the feta cheese, or when you're cooking, just some oil that we don't want into the sewer system. You just collect it in a bottle, put it here at the recycling station, and we use it we produce biodiesel from it. And we use it on the local bus that is free. The local bus is free. You can just jump on board, and it's been free for 10 years now. And it's running on, this one is running on methane, and we have 3 more running on 20% biodiesel. So, and the plan is to have 2 more of these. We've already made the purchase, and hopefully we'll have an electric bus in the years to come. So, like you can see, just general waste collection. That's the waste that is collected from my house. If I'm driving maybe 15,000 kilometers a year on methane, that's the cost. On electricity, it's very cheap. It's 1/10 of the petrol cost. And the local bus, like I say, it's 0. And we have now this project that we are planting this forest that for the flights between Akureyri and Reykjavik, the capital. So you have to plant 1 tree for 1 flight. So when I'm going back, I have 2 trees to plant for that flight or that trip, and so I reckon that maybe each family is doing maybe 3 or 5 trips a year. So this is the cost of living a green lifestyle in Akureyri. And we are encouraging companies to take these climate change steps. They're simple. There's not much cost in kind of implementing them. So recycling organic waste. We have a composting plant in the area as well. That is, we have around 80% of the homes collecting organic waste and putting that through the composting plant. Like I say, offering green parking, charging stations at the workplace, and a lot of companies in Iceland are now paying people for not taking their car to work. I guess they will have the same system here. Good facilities for bikes. People tend to forget this, that you need good facilities for bikes. And if the company is buying a new car, buy biomethane or an electric car. Just my last slide. This is what Vistorka is doing the next few months, few years. Because in Akureyri, as you see, we are few, and Reykjavik is far away. So what we see with the projects that we are trying to start up is that we kind of lack the economy of scale because all the projects, they are so small that they need to be more viable financially. So our idea now is what we're working on is to kind of link everything together and around the composting plant. So this is kind of the streams in, and we are trying to design this big solution, so to speak, and connect everything together, and it will be hopefully a very smart industry place with all the green solutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Guðmundur Sigurðarson. I have a question. How is the acceptance of the people in Akureyri? Are they with you in the changes?
Good question. Yes, that was something we were afraid of course, in the beginning. For example, with the collecting of the organic waste, yes. Because we have this green bin, and we gave it to each household, and then we kind of hope they put the organic waste in there. But there is nothing saying that you don't just put it in the general bin. But like I say, we have over 80% of the households participating. So
they are with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the methane, we are we started that 3 years ago, and we are seeing the increase is 40 to 50% between years. Okay. And just about Iceland in general, we are now in the last month, 20% of new cars were electric cars. So we are almost there.
Okay, almost there. And just a question from Twitter before you leave, and it's about Lars. Carla somewhere here say, do you think Lars Lagerbäck could fix our climate problems?
Absolutely, he can fix everything.
Okay, big applause for Lars and for Guðmundur. And I heard that you were planting trees. Yeah. We have planted 3 trees for you, in the WE forest in Africa, as a thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks.